Welcome back to another episode of
Perspectives with Jaime.
Joining us today on this lovely episode are esteemed guests, the stars of Never Let Me Go, Patricia Alvarado starring Ruth, and starring Kath, we have Ella Bulos. Welcome them, guys.
Thank you.
So how nice to have you both on the show tonight. You know, I really am so thankful, and I want to congratulate you on a job well done. Please, share with us all, how was it to really take the part of Ruth?
From my experience playing the part of Ruth, it was definitely an honor since she was belligerent, thick-skinned, and she was also born as a natural leader. Her character being shows a lot more on the negative and straightforward side, unlike her friend Kathy. But she also had a strong personality, and it really shows her qualities as a natural leader, who often comes off in a negative way where her friends really don't like it. The idea of my character's development from a political perspective may seem a little off-putting at first. Throughout the film, she was more authoritative towards her friends, although it may seem hostile. Behind those words that she delivers, there's a deeper meaning.
I really agree with that.
Ruth is particularly vital to the movie's plot since she addresses her emotions and character personality to keep everything intact with her Kathy and Tommy, especially.
And I'd like to add to what you said. I noticed that she really rather show a facade because she's in denial that she never felt real love like what my character had with Tommy. You don't know what it's like to put up a facade to get through the day, right? The theme of the whole film really reminds me of how, just like Ruth, we all strive to authentically feel love, a feeling we naturally long for. But the difference between them and us in the real world is there's a struggle to take control of their own lives, unlike how we have every potential to live authentically and independently. And Ruth shows a lot of personality and often subtly expresses her opinions and hopes, right? I also want to share that philosophically, these personalities result to one being their own authentic lives. For me, they unfortunately live an inauthentic life, given they have always been clearly socialized to live up to their purpose as donors.
Wow, what great insights and perspectives from you two. You know, when I watched the film, I paid a lot of attention to Ruth's character. I noticed that as a kid, she would behave differently in different social situations.
Yeah.
And if you notice, as a kid, she saw Kathy and, you know, she was just very different, very friendly. But when it came to seeing all the other Hailsham girls, she was more of a, you know, very brash. She was like a leader. I think that's because in that social setting, they saw her as someone to really listen to. That really gave her an opportunity to really voice her opinions and her thoughts. And they listened. When it comes to her role in society, you know, of course she was, you know, a bit deviant at the start, but then she accepted it.
Yes, that's true. Selves they show in the film are actually outcomes of their experiences. They're capable of showing unique selves and how they respond to social situations. They are capable, but of course, it's limited to what they are meant to fulfill in life.
Pat, do you think it's necessary to really be deviant and to really have an outgoing personality and be strong out there?
Ruth portrays herself as an unlikable character throughout the
Yeah,
movie, publicly,
very much.
but really she's just as caring for her friends. Towards the end of the movie, Ruth showed her longing to be accepted as someone who conformed to her destiny, opted to how she saw a safer path to conform. In some areas of the movie and her character, I could honestly see how we connected. She stayed grounded, leader-like, and a little too blunt to her friends, but really she just doesn't want to be alone. And she really just cares for her friends. She would rather show a hard rock facade, as to say in other words. I mean, basing from the system that she was in, they are forced to be someone they're not. She was raised in an unlikely environment where she was comprehensively associated and just uncomfortable.
Yeah, and towards the start of the film, she was really deviant toward what they wanted her to do. But she conformed in the end because she wanted to be accepted.
That's true.
Oh, wait, what's that? I think we're getting some calls from our lovely fans.
I'm calling the show because I had an interesting observation about Ruth's character as well. I mean, given the position that she was in, I wouldn't really blame her for acting that way. Ruth's mood swings that seemingly common for her age nonetheless resonate with something more urgent, as it became evident that these individuals in the prime of their lives were to become more than lab rats. They were clones raised for organ harvest. And like any other child in Hailsham, she was enmeshed in the circumstance of her life. She lived in fear and indecision, knowing full well that the forces were beyond her control. She did not have the capacity to fight and to question more so to operate the gears of free will. However, in the process of riding the wave, she attempted to alter her fate by taking away Tommy from Kathy in hopes of getting a deferral. Years passed, and she and Tommy were no longer together, and the guilt she felt for keeping Kathy and Tommy apart led her to make amends and give them Madame's address. That ascertained Ruth's inherent hopefulness as she surmised that they still have the chance to ask Madame for a deferral on the release. Ingay!
It looks like we have one last video call. This one seems to be coming from Japan.
Hi, Jaime, Pat, and Ella. I found all of your observations on Ruth's character to be quite interesting. However, I think her sense of self was mostly developed by the environment that she was in and the life that had already been set in stone for her. I admit I wasn't the biggest fan of Ruth's character. I found her character to be quite selfish. She robbed her best friend of her chance to be with Tommy despite knowing that she was already very much in love with him. It wasn't until the end of the film that my dislike for her started to lessen a bit when she finally confessed that she only got together with Tommy because she was afraid of being left alone. I mean, I get it. When I tried putting myself in her shoes, I think I would pretty much do the same thing. I mean, if you knew that your life was dedicated to only donating organs, then I think that you'd want to spend the remainder of your days with someone who loves you.
Thank you guys so much. Looks like we're out of time. Catch you all next week on
Perspectives with